go. Ayy, turn me up. Danni Bee, let's go. We ain't just talking, we healing for real. Pressure made diamonds, now watch how we build. Boss shit energy, standing on 10. Every setback turned into a win. Big fake, big goals, no shrinking around here. Still looking pretty while we face every fear. Sis, fix your crown, don't let it tilt. We ain't chasing perfect, we becoming built. Mind right, heart right, talk with a purpose. God did the work and it's finally surfaced. Real conversations, no filters, no fluff. If you came for the truth, then you came to the right spot. Bad little vibe, but I'm healing still. Lost up, baby, that's beat, coming well. Leveling up, can't stay where I feel. Welcome to the movement. Becoming well.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Becoming Well podcast. It's me, your host, Danni Bee, because who else would it be? It's just me. So I'm so excited to get into today's topic. Today's topic is happiness. Yes, happiness. And I picked today's topic because I wanted to continue to build on, we talked about identity. And so in terms of what's next, I just feel like happiness is next. Once you know who you are, it's like, now let's get to it. Like, let's try to do some discovery and find out what will make you feel happy. I don't think that we take enough time in our lives to consider our happiness because we tie it to different things. So I think if you're doing well, you're happy. And so that's what today's topic is going to be about. So let's get straight into the wellness check with our wellness check question. And the question is, when was the last time you genuinely felt happy? Did you enjoy it? Did you immediately move on to the next thing or the next thing on your to-do list? And I can honestly say the last time I felt happiness, like genuine happiness, honestly, all the time. Like, I feel happiness, like, I embrace my happiness, like, often. Like, anything could make me happy. Like, somebody sent me $50 today. I wasn't expecting it. I was instantly happy. You know what I'm saying? My daughter plays basketball, and the team was like, we're going to customize her jersey for free because last season we had some hiccups with customization. I was like, okay, don't got to send that extra money. Like, that made me happy. So I feel like I try to chase all the little moments in life to find, like, to make me happy. And honestly, I try to like string them along to the next moment. Like, okay, was I able to get off of work early? Yes. Okay, that makes me happy. So I don't tie my happiness to grand gestures. I tie it to the small little things, and I feel like that helps me maintain my full-blown happiness, like, overall. Like, today was a good day because, like, I got some stuff accomplished with writing. My party is coming together. Like, all the things that I want in life are coming, like, together like this. So I feel like that makes me happy. Did I go to the next thing? No, I didn't go to the next thing because I feel like I wanted to let that moment breathe. I wanted to let that moment resonate with my spirit. So I am chasing happiness, but I'm not chasing it as if it's running away from me. It's not running away from me. So I'm not chasing it in that way. I'm chasing it like in like the pursuit of happiness. Like, not like Will Smith, but more so like I can find the joy in the little things. They don't have to be large and grandstanding for me to feel happiness from them. So the next segment that we're going to get into is the honeycomb. And so I broke this down into a few parts when I was, doing some writing about what I wanted to really get into today. And so the first thing I want to talk about is happiness on layaway. I think sometimes we live our life in a way that is like chasing the happiness, right? But we're chasing it because we have like bargained with ourselves as to when it will be. So a great example is something that people probably say often, like, I'll be happy when, right? And so when you get to the win, I feel like sometimes you're probably not as happy as you thought you were going to be. And that's because you maybe had put so much weight on that moment. You did not enjoy the journey of getting to that moment. Like, for example, school, right? You say, I'll be happy when I finally graduate, right? That you look up and you're at graduation and you're not enjoying graduation because now you feel like you got to find a job. So then you'll be like, I'll be happy when I find a job. And then okay, then you get that job, and then you create another. We start moving the goalposts for what we think happiness is going to be, that we never settle in the victory of that moment. You know what I'm saying? How much of your life are you waiting to live because you are delaying it based on when you get there, right? So thinking about not even enjoying school or the journey of classes and meeting new friends and joining organizations because you are delaying your happiness because it's on layaway, right? You're delaying your happiness because you have placed it in the graduation and not in the being a student part, right? So that's kind of what I'm focusing on when I'm talking about like delaying your happiness because it's on layaway, because you can only get it out once you cash in that, like bring the rest of the funds. And the rest of the funds could be for if you're a student, for the rest of the funds is graduation. And again, when you get to graduation, then what? Right? We don't savor our moments of happiness enough because I think it's a little bit of the whole survival mode thing, right? You can't really understand and enjoy the feeling of the accomplishment because you have created another, it's like self-sabotage. It's like you've created another mountain to climb and you are just at the top of the other one. It's like, well, what's the next mountain I can climb? You're looking and you're trying to figure out, okay, what's the next thing, instead of saying like, wow, like it took me this many days to get up this mountain, and I learned this along the way, and I have this tool, and I can celebrate this moment. And you know what? I really did learn from this. Like this hike was not an easy feat, and I can rest in it. For me, that's how I feel about all my accomplishments. Like even the little accomplishments that I haven't, like I'm writing right now. And it's like I finished a chapter. I'm like, I'm letting that breathe. I wrote a chapter. It took me a while. Those 6,000 words were not easy to get to. But I can't be like, all right, next chapter, get to, because then I won't appreciate like all it took and all the nuance in writing that chapter. So ask yourself, how much of your joy and happiness are you postponing because you are living in the question of, I'll be happy when, right? And how much of your life are you actually waiting to really live because of that mindset? The next thing I want to talk about is achievement isn't the same as happiness. When you place happiness and tie it to achievement, you're always going to be in that chasing mindset, and not chasing like for joy, but chasing for like validation, right? Like most achievements are tied to validation anyways, right? We are like, okay, I bought a house, and so now you feel stable. When you get a car, you feel stable. I got my degree, I get a new job. All this is like, okay, now I feel like I'm secure, like I'm stable, like I'm got myself together, right? Because you've achieved these things. But like, are they going to bring you happiness? No. Your happiness has to come from the journey and getting a car. So I'm going to tell this story. Everybody know I got car drama, trauma. That's what I call it. If you know me, that's, you know, I don't, we're not going to talk about no cars, okay? I can remember the Kid Boys got me. They stole my car. And I was in a rental for 30 days. Then I got a Terrain. It only had 20,000 miles on it. And 5 days after having that Terrain, somebody hit me and totaled that car. So now I have 2 total cars on my credit. I have the Kia that's totaled because the Kid Boys, they did some damage. And that car got totaled, was ruled a total loss. And then the other vehicle who hit me on Thanksgiving, and what was that? What year was that? 2022? Yeah, that car was totaled after 5 days of me having it. So I'm back in a rental again after just being in a rental for 30 days. And it was at the end of my rental, and I'm just like, oh, so stressed out. Like, just okay. I ended up buying a car off Marketplace, and this car was like a ride or die car. It was like a hoopty, but it was like my hoopty. And I ain't talk bad on that car, because that was really like a car that held me down. It was a 2010 Great Ford Escape. I don't got nothing bad to say about that car, okay? Not one thing. And so I had that car for 2 years, and then I got into an accident with myself in that car. And so I was like, I'm not driving this car no more. But God had already been pushing my mind and my mental to, like, you need a new car. You need a new car. Demi was like, I'm hot back here. Yeah, okay. So we was getting a new car no matter what, but I was postponing it mentally. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. Like, I just don't feel like it right now. And God was like, once I got into that car accident in that car, God told me, like, don't get back in that car. And I was like, I'm not getting back in that car no matter what. I cleaned it out. I got into the accident. I drove home. I cleaned everything out. I never got back in that car to drive that car ever. So, after 2 years of driving that car, getting into the accident, and then I was like, I'm not getting back into that car. I only had one question for my new car. One ask for my new car. And so I got approved for a loan, and I was like, hey, I want to get this car. I want an SUV. That was my only ask for the car, was an SUV. And we test drove some SUVs, and this lady was telling me how car buying really works, like the behind the scenes, and like them having like what a loan really means, and stuff that people don't know about. This lady was really taking her time to tell me, like, yeah, the company has to approve the car, but it depends on the car. They might not approve it because these certain cars break down, and loan companies don't want to pick those cars, because if the car break down and you still owe on it, then you're not going to pay on it. So she just gave me all the rundown. So they were trying to put me in a foreign car, and I was just like, oh, okay. So yeah, okay, cool. So these men came and was talking to me and was like, you have to get this car. They were trying to put me in a Civic Honda, and I did not want to be in that car. I like test drove it for like 2 seconds, and I was like, I don't want to be in this car. I want to be in a SUV. And so they were like, you have to take this. And I was like, actually, I don't. I do not have to take this. And I'm not going to take this. So 30 days, almost 30 days go by with me like Ubering to work and things like that, and not having a vehicle. And I text the lady again, and I said, I need a car. I'm almost at the end of my loan. They give you 30 days to use that loan. You have to do it over again. I'm almost at the 30 days for this quote, so I want to use it. I don't want to have to do it again. And she was like, okay. And so that was on a Friday. I called her on Saturday. She was like, I'm still looking for something, okay? And so I texted her on Monday, because that was the next business day. And I was like, do you have something for me? And she was like, actually, yes. I have this SUV. If you put insurance on it, it's yours. I was like, okay. So I looked up the car. She sent me all the pictures they had just posted this car online, blah, 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 all the stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went and got the insurance and got that car. And I can just remember looking at those men's faces, like, because they just knew that I was going to be in that Honda Civic that they was really trying to get me in. They was like, oh, nice seeing you here. Are you getting the car? Yes, I am getting the SUV, not the car. Thank you. And so I say all that to say, God had my vehicle for me, right? And it wasn't the vehicle that made me happy. Like, it was really the journey of being still, because when I tell you I did not want to be driving that Ford Escape, I did not want to be driving that Ford Escape. It was just like, why do I have to drive this vehicle, Jesus? I used to ask him. I used to ask God, like, why do I have to drive this car? And I never heard anything from him, but I just knew that he just didn't tell me to move. And so I just was still, right? And when I think about the happiness of my vehicle now, the happiness of my vehicle now is really all of that stillness, all of that waiting, all of that, like, y'all tried to tell me what I wanted. Like, I only had one ask. You get what I'm saying? Like, God, like, answered my one ask, which was an SUV. You get what I'm saying? And y'all tried to tell me, no, I have to take something else. But really, it was it was really what I wanted, and I got that from God. And the journey of going through that, of being in my car now and having a sense of peace, so I feel like I'm out of that car karma drama, right? I have a sense of peace. That's what makes me happy. Not driving a car that got AC in it, my baby ain't in the back seat hot, right? I mean, that's great. But the peace around driving a car that was for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was my only ask, and it came in at the end of my loan period, and she was like, I got it, it's for you, put your insurance on it, you can come get it. Like, that was for me. That makes me so happy. I'm so happy to drive that car, not because it's the car, but because of the process. And so I say all of that to say the achievement of getting the car is not the same as the happiness that I have for the journey to get to the car. They're not the same. I can't weight them the same. I just can't weight them the same. They don't have the same rank in my life. I'm so grateful for a car, but I'm happy for the process. I want to go to the next point, and this is kind of it's the same concept and it's the same idea, but it's the idea that you don't have to earn your happiness. Happiness, I think we learned that we earn. That's something like we live in a society where there's so much like reward, right? Like, oh, you do this and you get that. You do this and you get that. If you don't, like, it's literally like joy and happiness is free. And it's inside, right? And you don't have to do anything to feel it, to resonate it, to give it, to receive it. You really don't have to do anything, right? It could literally be in a thought. It could be in a conversation. It could be in a card that you read. It can be in sitting and watching people, people watching. Joy and happiness is something that you don't have to earn, but I think we tie worth and productivity and celebration and all this thing to our happiness. And then when those things don't live up to your expectation, we get shaky. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get shaky, like, especially in celebration, right? Because when we celebrate things, I think it's a little bit of grandiose in there. But if you think about like your birthday, right? If nobody shows up to your birthday, you're disappointed, right? You're like, this is crazy. I show up for everybody and da-da-da-da. But it's yours, right? It's your day, right? Like, always do what's going to make you happy, that is safe for you and yourself and others. That's always put that little caveat in there, right? That's safe for yourself and others. But again, celebration. Your birthday is for you. That's the day that you were created and you came into this world and you manifested in a material state, right? So why put any weight on how that day is going to be celebrated on other people? Why place your happiness on how that day is going to be celebrated on other people? Same thing with productivity. Like, you can do something and never produce anything and still have happiness in that process. You get what I'm saying? Maybe you didn't get the job promotion that you thought you were supposed to get. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you invested your time in the relationship and it didn't manifest into a marriage. That doesn't mean that you didn't have happy moments in that situation. That doesn't mean that you didn't have, like, think about filling out a job application, which is a very daunting task, right? But think of how you feel when you get done with the application and you press send, right? Think of how you feel when You go to an interview and you be like, I rocked that. I brought my best self, whether you get the job or not. Live in those moments, because those are the moments that mold and shape us. Those are the moments that create happiness. And if you live in those moments, when you don't get the job, you won't be let down, because you know I did my best. And guess what? My best is going somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did my best. I put my best foot forward, and my best may not be for you, and that's good. But guess what? I can use this as a tool. You know, I can use this as an opportunity to be like, you know what? I'm going to do this differently. Like, that was the best I had then, but now that I have this experience, I can do better, right? Like, you can find the learning moments. So let's shift our mindsets from thinking that we have to earn our happiness, because it's tied to materialistic things. We don't have to earn our happiness. Happiness is free, right? Anything can make you happy, and almost anything should make you happy. Like, and if you start practicing gratitude, I think gratitude is such a window to happiness. Like, when you are grateful, you just gonna be happy. Like, I woke up this morning, I'm happy. Like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful to be able to talk to y'all. I'm grateful to be able to share my thoughts and my moments. And then when you get to those points, like, you're really in like a flow state of happiness, really. And then the last thing is highlight everyday joys. And I talked about this on all the points through the honeycomb, but joy should be like a rhythm in your life, not a reward, right? So highlight everyday joys like walking, dancing, flowers, laughing, rest, boundaries, friendship. Not because you had to earn it, but because you are able to live it. I find happiness in calling my friend on the phone and us talking. I love to talk on the phone. It makes me happy, right? I love flowers. Flowers make me happy. Bring me some flowers, okay? I love physical activities like rock climbing. Those are things I love. Those things make me happy. None of those things are an achievement, right? Most of those things are free or cheap, right? And that's where we should be placing our happiness. But if we practicing gratitude, we can also practice happiness, because I think gratitude and happiness, they live in the same neighborhood. They may be cousins. They walk together. They hold hands, right? I mentioned boundaries. I mentioned relationship and friendships. Happiness is in boundaries. And I want to talk about that a little bit, because I think that we often think that happiness is a space or area that doesn't have any seriousness to it, right? Like, it's like, oh, it's happy, it's fun, it's high. No, but happiness and peace live together too, right? So I feel like when you set boundaries, you have a sense of peace. And that sense of peace can provide happiness to you. And I'm thinking about like, setting a boundary can be crazy. Can be a crazy feeling, but it's like, I want you here, so I'm going to set this boundary, and I want you to stay here with me. And so the boundary is to keep you in. And if you can respect the boundary, you can stay here, right? And then we can live in harmony, and we can be happy together, right? Whatever the boundary is, whoever it's for, whatever it's for. If you respect this boundary, then happiness can come back to this place, right? Like, I love that idea. The last idea that I want to focus on is happiness in choice. Like in like you choosing happiness because it's your choice. So I think that society does a grand job of glorifying victimhood and being a victim. And I really want us to get away from that. Like, I really want us to get away from glorifying trauma, glorifying trials and tribulations. And I really want us to move as a society to just picking joy, picking happiness, and not waiting on something bad to happen in order for you to do that, right? I think it's so much better for you to have happiness that you willfully earned and worked towards in a way that was fulfilling versus you being happy after a tragedy, right? Like changing your mindset of like, I want to be a victor, I want to be victorious, right? I'm going to pick the door that has joy on it because that's my choice. Like that's my free will. That's my right to do that no matter what. But also before the what happens. Like I don't think people understand the power in picking happiness, picking victory, picking joy, picking goodness, and how tapped in you get with the universe, with everything around you when you just pick happiness, especially before something bad comes in the door, right? I think that we often be like, oh, I'm gonna be happy now that everything done went to shit. I'm gonna be good now that I done lost it all. Mm, you could have you could have went a different route. You could have went the route marked happiness, right? Um, and getting in alignment with that mindset does take a shift because it's so easy to be negative. It's so easy to be like, it's so easy to go against the grain. And honestly, for some people, it's very natural. It's very innate in them. Like, just be like, no, I'm good on that. I want to do no. But it feels better. It looks better on you. You can do so much more with happiness. And that's saying like you can get more bees with honey than shit. Like for sure. Because flies like shit. And we don't want no flies. You know what I'm saying? Like we want the bees. We want the honey bees, right? We want the queen bees. We want the worker bees. We want the bees. Because the bees is keeping us alive, right? So you can get so much more done in gratitude and happiness and joy and picking those things first and actively choosing those things, right? And not placing them on all the mental, I mean, not mental, and not placing your happiness on all of the material things in life. Place it on the small things that you can do for free. So the stinger question is, be honest. If the life you've been waiting for never arrives exactly the way you imagined it, will you ever allow yourself to be happy? And I think before, ooh, and I still do be struggling. Like just thinking about like a, a vulnerable topic for myself is the topic of loneliness, right? So I used to say that my life was manufactured for loneliness, and that was a wrong statement. But I've come to that conclusion because I don't have my parents; they're both deceased. I never lived with them, and I don't have strong relationships with my siblings. We all lived in different homes and were raised by different people. I don't really have a strong family unit in terms of like immediate family, right? Because I just explained to you who my immediate family was. So I have friends, but I don't have a friend group. So my friends are all in different hubs and pockets of my life. So naturally, I just have a sense of like I feel lonely, you know. And especially when your parents pass away, even if you don't know your parents, but your parents are out there, you just feel like you may have a sense of hope and finding them, right? Like if you don't know your parents, but they out in the world. When your parents die, though, it's like the vessels that brought you here are gone. So who are you? right? And what are you supposed to be doing? And those thoughts haunt me. And so then the next stage in life, I guess you're supposed to be finding a companion, right? And then I don't have a companion, right? I'm not in a relationship. And so I'm like, dang, I'm just gonna be lonely. I be like, God, I'm just gonna be lonely forever. Like, this what you wanted for me? And then I'm at a space in my life where God is asking me for obedience in different areas of my life. And so if I am to be obedient, is this going to also propel loneliness in my life? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on the journey and they're on a different journey. And I am having to work through all of this and choose happiness every day in all the little things that I do have, so that I am not ungrateful for the life that I have, but that I am also okay if I don't get the life that I desire. And that brings tears. Ooh, Jesus, that brings tears to my eyes, because I really long and desire for the life that I want. But will I have it? Will I get it? My faith is strong to say that yes, I will get it, but you just never know, right? We don't know what the future holds. And so really trying to rest in every moment that is here and present. Like even this, like the highlight of my week be I'm going to record my podcast on Tuesday, right? Living in that happy moment, because I don't know what next week is going to hold, but I know that these moments are bringing me happiness now. So I am trying to arrive to the point where if I don't get the life that I imagine, I will still be happy with this one. I am still going to be grateful for this one. And I'm working on maintaining the happiness for this one, even if I don't get the one that I can envision for myself. So that's my answer to that. Something to brag about segment. We're going to talk about bragging on something that brought me joy but had nothing to do with accomplishing something. So something that brought me joy this week was my daughter calling me. She's out of town right now, and so she called me and was like, "Hi, mommy, I miss you so much." I'm like, I miss you too, girlfriend. She like, "Are you coming to get me from the airport tomorrow?" I'm like, duh, who else is coming to get you from the airport? And when I tell you, like, just the innocence of her voice just made me so happy. So just like, that's my baby. I'm at the airport now, girl. Like, just like that's how I felt. But just, oh man, kids have a way of bringing out just so much joy in you. Like you just don't even know you don't know you miss them until you talk to them, and they're like, "Mommy, I can't wait to cuddle." Like, me either, and I don't like cuddling with her. She do too much, but I can't wait to cuddle with her when she get home. Like, I'm so excited. So that is something that brought me joy this week, and I'm bragging on that. So I want to leave you with this closing thought. Happiness isn't always waiting for you on the other side of your next milestone. Sometimes it's been waiting for you in the life you're already living. Do not chase the big gratifying things that society says you need to have or you need to do in terms of tying those things to your happiness. It's literally waiting on you for you to start living life. Like, it's literally waiting. Once you say, I'm about to live life, and especially in an intentional way, that is the moment. Ooh, that is the moment when your happiness comes in. When you set the intention for your life. When you're like, I'm going to go after this. I'm going to do this. That is the moment where happiness, like the universe, starts pulling it into you, right? So don't chase that milestone. Chase the current moment that you're living in, because that's where the happiness lives. So I want to give you guys a permission slip. And of course, like this week, you have permission to be happy. You don't need my permission to be happy, but you still have my permission to be happy. Be happy on purpose. Be happy because you can. And chase each moment and find the joy in it. Thank you.
Becoming well.